Come on, don't be mad, Anko-chan, Anko said with emphasis on the last part. I'll kill you later, brat. Now everyone to the training ground, 44. Be there in 20 minutes or you fail. Go, Anko said, and everyone left the room in a hurry. Naruto and Hinata just shunshined there. Chapter 15, Forest of Death, Training Ground. Fufor, also known as the Forest of Death. It's Konoha's deadliest training ground reserved only for Chunins and ANBU. The forest itself contains various monster and other deadly animals from big spiders to gigantic bears and tigers. The Forest of Death is the traditional place for second round of every Chunin exam done in the Leaf. The Chunin exams are hosted in various countries and rotated. Every 3 years the Chunins happen in the Leaf. To everyone in Konoha, the Forest of Death, as the name says, it's hell and one place to don't come near.
Obviously, this doesn't apply to the crazy snake lady, also known as Anko to her. This place is her home away from home, and the reason she is always in charge of the second round.
Of the original 200 applicants to the Chunin exams, more than half were failed in the first task. Now we are currently at the entrance of the Forest of Death. All right, maggots, welcome to my home. Training Ground 44, also known as the Forest of Death, Anko said. It got the desired reactions from a few of the genin, which was fear, as they should be. Even Chunin can't wander through the forest without getting hurt. Anko spotted Naruto and noticed he wasn't affected and decided to play a little game. Anko threw a kunai that was going to slightly cut his cheek. However, the kunai simply phased through Naruto and hit the ground. Naruto got a worried look and very quickly in a panic began checking himself with his hands to see if he was in one piece. Oh good. I'm not a ghost, Naruto said and smirked when he saw everyone looks of disbelief. Anko vanished in a blur and appeared behind Naruto with a kunai at his neck. You seem confident? It kids like you who get killed first, Anko said, pressing her body against his back and licking his cheek. Hinata's eyebrow twitched, was about to juken the bitch away from Naruto when she saw him smirking. Naruto dissolved into a bunch of black crows that flew away and started circling Anko. The crows flew towards her and quickly turned into shuriken heading to Anko. Genjutsu, Kai, Anko thought and flared her chakra, making the shuriken disappear. She looked around and found Naruto not far away, smiling at her. Genjutsu, not bad brat, she said. And you don't seem scared of the forest. Anko stated, May, those things are nothing compared to the furball, Naruto said, and Anko snickered. He had to have balls to call the Kyuubi furball. I told you I am not a furball, Kurama yelled inside his mind. Actually, you kind of are. You have fur and it's so soft and cuddly, Naruto squealed in a fangirlish way. Kurama simply sweat dropped and cursed to Kami why he had to end up in this vessel. All right, brats, let me explain how this works. See these? Anko said, and showed everyone 2 scrolls she had on her hands. These are the Earth and Heaven scrolls. Each team gets one. In order to pass this exam, you must get the other and reach the tower, which is located in the middle of the forest. You have 5 days, Anko explained. What about food? Chuji asked, panicking over the fact they would spend 5 days in a forest, surrounded by monster. You can hunt if you didn't bring any supplies, Anko said. Also, you need to sign these documents so that Konoha can't be blamed for your deaths, she concluded, and few shivered at the thought. Oh yes, there will be deaths. Just thinking about blood makes me jump for joy, Anko said in a far too happy tone. Anko proceeded to distribute the forms, and once everyone had signed and got their scroll, each team made its way to their respective gate. There was Gate 10, 5 minutes before start, Darucham. How shall we do this? Shino asked. They decided to define their plan before the exam began. How about we head straight to the tower? If we find any team, we take them out, otherwise we can set traps for them at the tower, Naruto said, and Shino and Hinata nodded. Shino, do you think you can keep up and run for 10 miles? Naruto asked. It should be fine, Shino replied. Okay, get set. 3, 1.
Go, Anko said. Over the speaker, and Team 8 jumped into action, running through the gates and heading towards the tower.
Kage Bushin no Jutsu, Naruto said, and appeared 15 clones. Divide into 5 teams and scout ahead while one stays behind to make sure we have a backup plan in case we fall into a trap. Naruto ordered, and 4 groups of clones ran in the front and to the sides while one group would follow behind them. "Hinata, use your Byakugan just to make sure no one bypasses my clones," Naruto said, and Hinata nodded, activating her Byakugan. Naruto also extended his senses and Shino used his bugs. Team 8 were, among other things, tracking experts, so nothing came close to them without they knowing. They ran through the woods until Naruto got a feedback from one of his clones. "Ami team 100 meters ahead," Naruto said, and everyone approached with caution. Team 8 stealthily approached the unsuspecting AIM team. Naruto and Hinata took a few senbon, and with the precision of Insurgin, they placed the 3 members into a death-like state by hitting them in the neck with the senbon. They reached the fallen AIM team and went through their bags until they found the Earth Scroll. "Nice, just the one we need. Let's go to the tower full speed. If you can't, I'll carry you, Shino," Naruto said, and Shino shook his head. They were heading to the tower at full speed when Team 8 sensed a massive chakra spike. "That is no Genin, and no Jinchuriki," Naruto said, and the team came to a stop, looking to where it came from. "I'm going to check it out. You guys go to the tower. You have my Hiroshin marker if you need help. Once I'm done, I'll teleport to your location," Naruto said. "Why?" Hinata asked. "It might be one of ours that is in trouble," Naruto replied and prepared to jump away. "Be careful," Hinata said. Kissed his cheek. "For luck," she said. "Don't worry," Naruto replied and jumped into the woods. Seconds later, he was gone. Hinata sighed and the rest of Team 8 was heading to the tower. Naruto was running towards the location of the chakra spike when he sensed 2 presences near him. He checked their chakra levels and found that one was around Jonin while the other had cage levels reserves. He recognized the Jonin's chakra. It was Anko. However, the other was unknown. He never felt that chakra anywhere in the leaf, and there wasn't anyone in the village with that much amount of chakra except himself and the Hokage. Naruto approached them with extreme caution. He could hear them talk, and Anko seemed angry and scared. Anko scared was not a good thing. "Ah, Anko-chan, how you've been?" the other voice asked in a mocking tone. "What are you doing here, Orochimaru?" Anko asked, spitting his name. Orochimaru. Shit, Naruto thought, as he continued to observe and jump in if necessary. "I was just dropping off a gift to a promising genin," Orochimaru cryptically said. "You didn't?" Anko rhetorically asked. "Why so mad, Anko-chan? Didn't you like my gift?" Orochimaru asked. Anko got enough of his. She drew a kunai and rushed him. Orochimaru placed his hand in the tiger seal and activated her curse mark, making her fall into the ground, screaming in pain. "You forget your place," Orochimaru said. "Sene Jashu, hidden snake hands," Orochimaru said and extended his arm towards Anko, sending a couple of snakes to bite her. Kaiten. Hosenka no Jutsu, Phoenix Fire Technique, Naruto said, and sent multiple small fireballs towards the snakes and destroyed them. Naruto jumped in between Orochimaru and Anko. He approached her and noticed she was clutching her neck. Naruto saw that in her neck was a strange mark that seemed to glow. Curse mark, Naruto thought. My little genin came to her rescue. "How cute," Orochimaru said in a mocking tone. "Any ideas, Fox?" Naruto asked. "That snake must be here for some reason. Any real fight here would attract too much attention. Flare my chakra and try to hold him off," Kurama suggested, and Naruto flared the Kyuubi's chakra high enough to draw attention to any Anbu patrolling the area. "Kyuubi brat?" Orochimaru thought. If it isn't the Kyuubi brat, I guess I can play for a while." And Orochimaru said, "Orochimaru, what are you doing here?" Naruto asked, trying to buy some time. Snakes tend to be slippery. "So you know me? I'm honored," Orochimaru said, chuckling. "I'm here to leave a small gift to the Uchiha," he said. "Gift? You call a damn curse seal a gift?" Naruto asked, getting mad. "Stay focused, Kit. He isn't someone who you can play around," Kurama said. "Of course it's a gift. When he destroys the sound team I sent to kill him, he will realize the power that comes from it," Orochimaru said. "Sasuke, you bastard. You already did this to Anko and now Sasuke," Naruto said, and rushed towards Orochimaru and engaged in taijutsu. "A little hot-headed, aren't you?" Orochimaru asked. Naruto smirked and said, "Katsu," and his clone exploded, sending Orochimaru crashing into a tree. Now that was surprising, Orochimaru said as he watched Naruto leave the bush he was hiding. What do you want Sasuke for? Naruto asked. I simply wish his eyes, Orochimaru said. The Sharingan? Then it would be wise to hide mine. I don't want a pedophile after me, Naruto thought, and once again rushed him for a taijutsu battle. Orochimaru simply dodged every single attack Naruto did by bending his body to unnatural angles. Is this it? Orochimaru asked in a taunting tone. It's time for the big guns, Naruto thought, and took a whole different stance. He activated his EMS and hid it. His face was completely emotionless with his cold blue eyes staring into Orochimaru. Kaiten. Karyudan no Jutsu. Fire Dragon Bullet, Naruto said, and sent fire bullets to Orochimaru, who simply dodged them all. Naruto decided to use a wide-range attack. He made a Kage Bushin and both said, Keitan, Ryuka no Jutsu, Dragonfire Technique, Futon, Dai Tappa, Great Breakthrough. The result was a big wide area of effect stream of fire that rushed Orochimaru and torched the surroundings area. Anko just watched in wonder. There were some jonin what couldn't even do these without passing out from chakra exhaustion. The fire died down, and Naruto watched Orochimaru as he slowly crumbled away until he poofed in smoke, revealing it to be a Kawarimi. Naruto searched around and sensed Orochimaru just in time to jump away from a hand that shot out of the ground trying to catch him. Orochimaru resurfaced, and Naruto appeared behind him as well. Raikiri! Lightning Cutter! Naruto yelled. As he rose from the ground, went to stab Orochimaru through the chest. Orochimaru didn't expect such a technique from a genin and quickly got out of the way. However, he wasn't fast enough, and the Raikiri managed to chop his right arm off. This brat is dangerous. If I hadn't dodged, he could have killed me, Orochimaru thought as he observed Naruto, who wasn't even showing signs of stopping. My, you are really something. It's a shame you can't be my next vessel, Orochimaru said as he opened his mouth to inhuman proportions and spited out another Orochimaru, leaving the skin of the old behind. What the fuck are you? Naruto asked, getting a little disgusted as Orochimaru just spited himself from inside himself. It's been fun, but I must go now. See you around, Orochimaru said and sank into the ground. He decided to leave as he sensed two groups on Anbu incoming. Naruto turned to Anko, who had an amazed look on. You okay, Anko? He asked. Holy shit, brat, that was amazing, Anko yelled, but quickly recoiled in pain. Just the Anbu dropped by, accompanied by the Sandaime. Naruto-kun, what happened? The Hokage asked. He was wearing his full battle gear that primarily consisted of a full, tight black bodysuit with metal shields in his arms and legs. Orochimaru is here, and I think he activated Anko's curse mark, Naruto said, and the Hokage's eyes widened. What is doing here? The Hokage asked to himself, but loud enough for Naruto to hear. He's after the Sharingan of Sasuke. I believe he gave him the curse mark as well, Naruto explained, and the old man sighed. His prodigy of a student turned to be his greatest mistake. Take Anko to the hospital, the Hokage said, and the Anbu vanished. Naruto do have the scrolls? He asked, and Naruto nodded. But I'll go after Sasuke. Orochimaru sent a sound team to kill him, Naruto said. All right, be careful. I already risked a good lot by interfering in the exams, the Hokage said, and left the forest. Naruto made Kage Bushins and spread them through the forest as wide as he could so he could find Sasuke as quickly as possible. Naruto ran through the forest as quickly as he could, covering the area he could. 1 hour later, he finally sensed Sakura's chakra signature. He could sense Sasuke's, but he felt it was slightly different and weaker. He arrived where Sakura was and noticed it was a mayhem going on. Sakura was on the ground with her hair cut in half and multiple kunai wounds. Lee was also there, but he bleeding from his ears and a few bruises. Team 10 seemed to be trying to hold off the sound team, but to no avail. And finally Kiba, who was in the ground, apparently knocked out cold. Pathetic, all of you, Dosu said, smirking as he picked up kunai and made his way towards Sasuke to kill him. And no one could stop him. Naruto shunshined in front of him and quickly delivered a good kick to him that sent him into the ground. Everyone was happy to see that someone had arrived to help, even if it was Naruto. Another one, these guys just keep coming. Zaku said, getting pissed off. Every time they tried to kill the Uchiha, someone got in the way. Why don't you just leave? You are no match for me, Naruto said, smirking. I'll get that smile out of your face. Dosu snickered and flexed his arm, showing his gauntlet. Melody arm? Dosu said as he channeled chakra to his arm. Naruto, who had his Sharingan activated, could see the sound waves filled with chakra. That can't be good. Kamui, Naruto thought. Dosu sensed as the waves traveled the air and hit Naruto, only to do nothing. Naruto waited a few seconds and noticed everyone was stopped and looking between him and Dosu. Was that supposed to do something? Naruto asked, inwardly smirking. The rest of rookies that were awake stared at the blonde. Lee was taken down with that jutsu, and yet Naruto remained there as if nothing happened. That gauntlet must be defective. I'll deal with this, Zaku said and stepped forward, intending to end the battle in one attack. Zankuha, decapitating airwaves, Zaku said, and channeling chakra through his arms, he sent a gust of wind towards Naruto. Naruto stood in place and activated his Kamui to let the attack pass through him. Zaku watched as the dust cloud started to disappear, only to find Naruto in the same place. What a nice breeze, Naruto said, smirking. Zaku got mad and channeled as much chakra as he could through the pipes that ran deep beneath the skin. Zankyokukuha, extreme decapitating airwaves, Zaku said, and sent a powerful gust of wind towards the enemy. Naruto watched the gust come and noticed he had to take Sasuke and Kiba out of the way. He rushed towards them and activated his Kamui to protect them as well. Once the attack was over and the dust cloud set down, Zaku smirked as he scanned the area he attacked, only to find nothing. I blew them to little bits, Zaku said, smirking with confidence. Raikiri. Zaku turned just in time to see a hand covered in lightning pierce through his chest and heart. Zaku gave a silent scream that didn't leave his mouth as he fell to the ground dead. Dosu and Kin's eyes widened at seeing his teammate fall to the ground dead. The blonde kid was playing with them the whole time. The blonde had killed Zaku with one attack and they didn't even saw him move. If you give us the scroll, you can leave peacefully, Naruto said in an emotionless tone. The rookies just watched as Naruto effortlessly killed the shinobi they were having trouble with. Sakura was trembling with fear from both the sound team and the arrival of Naruto. He had just killed someone in cold blood. He pierced someone's chest with his own hand. Dosu was trembling as he picked his scroll and left it in the ground and quickly left running along with his last teammate Kin. How nice of you to join us, Neji, Naruto said as he sensed the teammates of Lee arrived at the scene. What happened here? What did you do to Lee? Neji asked, activating his Byakugan and getting ready to attack until he got his answers. Suddenly, a blast of chakra was felt by everyone in the area. They all turned to see Sasuke slowly rising up with some sort of purple chakra swirling around him. His body was covered in some sort of black tattoo. Yes, with this power I'll kill him, Sasuke said to no one. He could feel the power coursing through his body, a gift from Orochimaru. Sasuke looked around for someone to test his new powers in and quickly locked eyes with Naruto, who was standing near a dead body. Naruto, fight me. I want to test my new powers, Naruto commanded, and quickly rushed Naruto and engaged in a taijutsu battle. Sasuke-kun, stop this, Sakura said, crying in the ground. This was all too much for her. She had to defend Sasuke and Kiba and got crushed. She watched as someone bit Sasuke in the neck and gave him some strange marking, and she was watching Sasuke apparently out of control. I don't have time for this. I can't allow him to use this curse mark any longer, Naruto thought. Naruto quickly outmaneuvered Sasuke and got behind, trapping him with his arms. Neji, do you mind? Naruto rhetorically asked. Neji smirked and got down from the tree. He arrived near the Uchiha, activated his Byakugan, and quickly knocked him out by closing a few key tenketsus. Naruto sighed. Now that everything is more calm, let's leave this place. Everyone has their scrolls? Naruto asked, and everyone nodded. Okay, everyone touch a part of me and let's leave, Naruto said, and they just stared at him. He wanted them to touch him. What do you mean, touch you? Neji asked, narrowing his eyes. Just place a hand on my shoulder or something like that. Neji pick up Lee. Sakura pick up Sasuke and Kiba, Naruto said, and everyone got ready around Naruto. They all vanished, and in what seemed to be an instant, They all dropped down near the tower where Hinata and Shino were sighted waiting for Naruto. Geez, teleporting so many with me really takes a good chunk of chakra, Naruto thought as he regained his breath. Naruto! Hinata said, rushed to check him. What happened? She asked. Team 7 got ambushed by Orochimaru, he replied, and she gasped. Naruto, how did you bring us to the tower so fast? Tenten asked curiously. Naruto started sweating. He didn't think much about it. It would be a mess if they found out already. It's a space-time technique like the summoning jutsu. I can teleport to Hinata. Naruto explained, hoping they would believe in him and not ask too many questions. She nodded, and everyone entered the tower only to find an empty room. I think we should open the scrolls, Hinata said, and Naruto opened the scrolls. He opened them and saw it was a summoning scroll. Quick, toss them in the ground, Naruto yelled as the scroll started to leak out smoke. Both scrolls disappeared in the middle of the smoke. When it cleared, there was a person standing in the middle of the room. Congratulations on passing the second round, she said. Team 8 looked up to see Kurenai standing in front of them. Sensei. Everyone said at the same time. Come on, let's get inside. You and the rest of Leaf's teams were the second to arrive. Only the Sand team is already here. You have 4 days to rest and get your strength back up, Kurenai said, and lead her team into the respective rooms where they would be staying. Chapter 16. Preliminaries Team 8 was walking towards their assigned rooms. Since they completed the second task of the Chunin exams in 1 day, they could relax and recover during the 4 available days. Naruto-kun, Hinata said, getting Naruto's attention. If I had to fight Gaara, do you think I could win? She asked. They continued walking, and Naruto was thinking. After a few minutes, he decided to reply. I don't really know what he can do, but when we met him, he had sand around him, and apparently he is the son of the 4th Kazekage, so he probably can control sand with his chakra. Since you are a water type, you can drench his sand in water to make it slower and more chakra-demanding to use, forcing him to waste more chakra. But if he decides to use his Biju, then I think you would lose, unless you do that trick I taught you, he said, grinning. I guess you're right, she replied. Shino just heard the conversation with interest. This year there was a lot of tough competition. His bugs wouldn't much against a Biju since primarily he uses them to drain the enemy's chakra, and draining a Biju might take a while. They arrived to their room and found it a standard room. It had 3 single beds, a small bathroom, a small desk with chairs and a window. Do you think you will be able to sleep without me? Naruto said, grinning. Oh, I'm not sleeping without you, she said, walking towards him. If you hold me close enough, I think we will be just fine, she replied and kissed him. I like the idea, he said, smiling and holding her. Want to go eat something? He asked, and she nodded. Hey, Shino want to come? He asked, and the bug boy simply nodded. They finished unpacking and left their stuff in the room. Team 8 got out of the room and walked through the hall, heading towards the other floors. The tower in the middle of the Death Forest was relatively small. It had 5 floors. The first was reception and the arena. The second was the kitchen. The 3rd and 4th floors were the rooms and bathrooms, and the last floor was the administrative and surveillance room. They made their way down the floors and quickly found the kitchen. There was plenty of food already prepared due to the Chunin exams. They entered the kitchen and noticed that they weren't alone. Inside the kitchen there was the Sand team. Hey Gaara, Naruto said, waving as he entered the kitchen. Both Kankuro and Temari instantly stiffened as they knew that Gaara could flip at any time. Hinata and Shino were just a bit weary of them. Uzumaki Naruto, Gaara said, eyeing Naruto carefully. You interest me, he said. Sorry, but I don't swing that way. Besides, I already have a girlfriend, Naruto said, chuckling and kissing Hinata's cheek. Gaara's eye twitched at his statement. Temari and Kankuro were wondering if all Leaf Shinobis had a death wish. Mother will have your blood and then everyone will acknowledge my existence, Gaara with a sick smile. Mother? You do realize Shukaku is male, right? Naruto asked. And you don't have to kill to have people noticing you, he finished. It doesn't matter, once I kill you, I shall forever prove my existence, Gaara said. You want people to acknowledge you, then find people to protect? Instead of killing them, fight to protect them, and those few precious people will acknowledge you forever. Naruto explained. You fight to protect people? Gaara asked. Yes, that is right. Your true strength emerges when you fight to protect those you care about, Naruto said. Fool, we are nothing but murderers. We live to kill. We are weapons, Gaara said. Kankuro and Temari were listening to the conversation and wondering if they should leave, because this conversation seemed to be heating up. I never considered myself a weapon, Naruto said. You are a fool, and I shall prove it to you. Once I kill you, everyone will notice my existence, Gaara said. Fine then. When we meet of the arena, I shall prove to you that acknowledgement comes from people that care about you, Naruto said, and he and his team left the room, leaving a thirsty Gaara behind. Hey, Haim, I'm going to talk with Anko. I'll meet you later, Naruto said. All right, see you later, she replied and gave him a quick kiss. Just floor 5, surveillance room. Naruto separated from his team and headed towards the 5th floor. He walked towards said room and knocked on the door. He opened it, and in the room there was the Hokage, Anko, Ibiki, and a few chunins. Something you need, Naruto-kun? The Hokage asked as he watched the blonde enter the room. Can I talk to you in private with Anko? Naruto asked, and the Anko raised an eyebrow, wondering what the kid wanted. Of course, the Hokage replied, and made a gesture for everyone to leave the room, except Anko. Naruto flashed through a few hand seals and said, Sound barrier seal. There was a small flash of light and suddenly vanished. Anko was surprised by seeing a genin using these types of seals. But she knew what kind of life Naruto had lived, and if he wanted to survive, he would have to pick up his pace. Now then, I would like to check out that curse seal if you don't mind, Naruto said, and Anko involuntarily brought her to her neck. Why do you want to see it? She asked. She didn't like talking about her past. I want to know if I'm capable of removing it, Naruto said, and Anko started laughing. Kid, I'll give you that you are strong, but this seal can't be removed, Anko regretfully said. Any seal can be broken, Naruto said. Have faith. Besides, it doesn't hurt to try. Come on, Anko, you don't know, but Naruto is a seal master, the Hokage said. Anko raised an eyebrow and watched him carefully. You are telling me this kid is a seal master? The only one in the leaf is Jiraiya of the Sannin, and even he already tried, Anko said. Yes, he's telling you the truth. He already provided our village with a few seals of his own. Improve exploding tags, remotely detonated tags, and his own creation flash tags, the Hokage explained. Anko still had her doubts. I'll make a bet with you. If I can't remove it, I'll pay you an all-you-can-eat at the dango shop. However, if I can remove it, you do the same for me in the ramen stand, he said, grinning. Fine, Anko said, sighing, and removed her coat so Naruto could more easily have access to her curse mark. Naruto activated his Sharingan to perfectly memorize the seal. He placed his fingers on the curse mark and channeled a bit of chakra. He noticed the mark slightly glow and made Anko slightly wince. It must be tuned to Orochimaru's chakra signature, Naruto thought. Anko, I need you to activate the curse seal, please, Naruto said, and stayed watching her chakra network carefully with his Sharingan to notice the changes. Fine, she replied. Anko channeled chakra to her curse seal, and it began spreading across her whole body. Black markings were originating from the seal and spreading across her skin, reaching the whole body. Naruto watched carefully with his Sharingan, analyzing every small change. Interesting, Naruto said and closed his eyes. What do you think, Kurama? Can we force your chakra into the seal to break it? Naruto asked. Forcing my chakra would destroy the curse seal but would most likely badly poison her. She wouldn't survive without a very good medic around, Kurama replied. Naruto opened his eyes and saw both of them staring at him. I was talking to the furball about it, Naruto said. You can talk to it? Anko asked. Yes, but it's not an IT, it's a him, Naruto replied seriously. Anyway, I could force the Kyuubi's chakra to it and destroy it, but it would poison you. It would require Ba-chan herself to be able to stabilize you long enough to remove it, Naruto explained. Ba-chan? Anko asked. My grandmother Tsunade, Naruto replied. Holy shit, you are her grandson? Anko half yelled. Tsunade was a legend among all of Kunoichi. She was what every Kunoichi wanted to be. Strong and beautiful, and with the right, assets. Yes, but keep it to yourself. Now I noticed that the seal, besides leaking chakra, it also sends a few chemicals to the bloodstream most likely to create addiction and increasing the body's stamina and strength. Either way, I would need Bachan to remove it, either using the Kyuubi or not, Naruto said, and he could see the frown on her face. Tsunade had left the village years ago. There is one thing I can do. Be right back, Naruto said and vanished in a yellow flash. The Hokage's and Anko's eyes widened. They hadn't seen that flash in over 14 years. Was that? Anko stuttered. The Hokage managed to regain sense and asked, "Now do you believe me?" Anko only managed to dumbly nod. A few minutes later, Naruto reappeared in the room with a large scroll in his hands. Naruto placed the scroll on the ground and opened it to show a very big and complex sealing array. "Anko, sit in the middle of the scroll, please," Naruto said and got a look of confusion. He sighed and continued. "I may not be able to remove the seal alone, but I can place a restriction and block seal that will permanently lock away the seal. Basically, you would have to force chakra to the seal to activate it, and you will no longer have the constant pain," Naruto explained, and Anko quickly sat in the scroll. "All right, let's do it," Anko said, getting ready for the constant pain to leave her. "It may hurt a little bit while the seal is applied," Naruto said. "I'm used to pain," Anko said. "Okay." Naruto walked up to Anko and placed his hand in her curse mark. A few seconds later, kanji erupted from his hands and spread across Anko and the scroll. "Ready?" Naruto asked, and she nodded. "Fujahoin, evil sealing method," Naruto said, and in an instant, all the kanji began rushing towards his hand that was placed in her curse seal. Anko bit her lip in pain, but she could handle it. After a few minutes, all the kanji reached the curse seal and formed a ring around the curse seal as if locking it. Naruto removed his hand and Anko relaxed. "We are done. How do you feel?" Naruto asked. A second later, Anko was all over him, kissing and pressing her body against his, much to the jealousy of the old Hokage, who had a trickle of blood flowing in his nose. "Okay, Anko, I have a girlfriend, you know?" Naruto rhetorically asked. "Don't worry, kid. Besides, it was my way to say thank you. Even though it's still here, it no longer hurts. I can barely feel it on my neck," Anko said happy. "Don't mention it." Naruto started. "Hey, Gigi, do you think you could bring Sasuke here for me to do the same to him?" Naruto asked. The Hokage nodded and said bore. Immediately in front of him appeared an ANBU and kneeling before him. "Hi, Hokage-sama," the Anbu said. "Bring me Uchiha Sasuke," the Hokage ordered, and the Anbu left. Naruto turned to the Hokage. "Do you think he will accept to have it blocked?" Naruto asked. "Why wouldn't he?" the Hokage said, raising an eyebrow. "You do realize he intends to kill his brother, right?" Naruto asked, and the Hokage nodded. "And do you think he will gladly forget this power?" Naruto asked. "I see your point, but I have faith he will do the right choice," the old Hokage said. "He's naive. All Uchihas must burn," Kurama said, chuckling evilly. "What the hell, Kurama? I have Uchiha blood!" Naruto screaming. "You and your father are different. You are not power-hungry fools, and you are not arrogant. Well, except when you are in the middle of battles." Kurama said, "I only say that stuff to piss the enemy off. If he gets angry, he will make mistakes I will capitalize on," Naruto replied. They waited for a few minutes until the Anbu appeared in the room, followed by a pissed-off Sasuke who, by the looks of it, just woke up from his Neiji's induced sleep. "What do you want?" Sasuke said, glaring at Naruto. "We need you to sit in the middle of the scroll to seal your curse mark," Naruto answered. "Why would I want to do that? I need this power," Sasuke said. "Idiot. You would be willing to be used as a puppet so that you could kill your brother?" Naruto asked. "Shut up. You don't know anything, and I would gladly give my life if it meant to kill him," Sasuke said, and Naruto just shook his head. "Fine. Sit in the scroll anyway. Since for now, it's impossible to remove the curse seal safely without killing the host. I'm applying a suppression seal that allows for the host to have better control over the seal," Naruto explained, and Sasuke smirked. "You shouldn't use it. I can see that the host tends to develop an addiction to its power, Naruto explained, and Sasuke simply shrugged it off. It was a gift and I intend to use it, Sasuke said, and Naruto shook his head. This might hurt a little, Naruto said, but didn't mind much. He did the same steps as for Anko and placed his hand on his curse seal. Fuja Hoin evil sealing method, Naruto said. Sasuke screamed for a few minutes, and when it was completed, he fell to the floor unconscious. Bor, take him to him room. He must be exhausted from the forest of death, the Hokage said, and the Anbu took off. See you guys in 4 days, Naruto said, and left the room, followed by a very happy Anko. You would be so proud of your son Minato, Kushina, the Hokage thought, as he also left the room. He had preparations to do for the finals. Occur 4 days later. The next 4 days went by without any trouble, and they were boring as hell. They weren't allowed to leave the tower until the end of second phase of the Chunin exams. During these 4 days, a few more teams arrived to the tower. As he expected, the team from Taki and Kumo also arrived. Every competitor was summoned to the arena and filled it facing the Hokage. The arena room was pretty much empty. The room had a giant statue with a shinobi doing the ram hand seal. There were 2 balconies, one in each side of the room for the spectators. Behind the statue was a big electric board. First, I must congratulate you all for passing the second round of the Chunin exams, the Hokage said, and a few smirked, thinking they were the best. Now, the Hokage started but was interrupted by another shinobi. Do you mind if I continue, Hokage-sama? Said Shinobi asked, and the Hokage shook his head. My name is Gekko Hayate, and I'm the proctor of this part of Chunin exams, Hayate said. He had short brown hair and dark markings under his eyes. Even though he was a young man, he had pronounced lines under his eyes as well as an unexplained chronic cough that plagued him. He wore the standard Konoha shinobi outfit, complete with a forehead protector that he wore as a bandana, flak jacket, and regular shinobi sandals. He also carried a katana with a rectangular handguard strapped over his back. Before we can proceed, we will need to have preliminary matches, Hayate said, and the Genins erupted in protest. What do you mean by preliminary matches? Kiba asked. We didn't expect this many people to pass the exam, so we have to thin out the contestants. During the third phase of the exam, many nobles will assist the matches, and their time is precious to not be unnecessarily wasted. Hayate explained, and a few were against it. Why should we risk our lives for this? Someone yelled. I think you misunderstand the meaning of the Chunin exams, the Hokage said, and everyone turned to face him. The Chunin exams are used to promote promising genins to Chunin, however, there is somewhat of an underlying objective. The Chunin exams are a substitute for war and to prove that the country that is competing is strong. The strength of a village is the strength of their shinobi, and the strength of their shinobi only flourishes in life and death battles, the Hokage explained. By having shinobi compete in the Chunin exams, the country can prove their strength, which will award them a higher number of missions bringing more wealth to the village, the Hokage concluded. Before we begin, is there anyone who wishes to forfeit? Hayate asked, and no one stepped forward. Very well, we shall begin now. The match ends by either knockout, death, or impairment. If I declare the winner, the match ends immediately, understood? Hayate said, eyeing them seriously, and everyone nodded. The names will appear on that electric board randomly, Hayate explained, as the board started shuffling through names. Since we have an odd number of contestants, one of you will advance immediately to the third round of the Chunin exams. Hayate explained as the board went random names. Sabaku no Kankuro will have a free pass, Hayate said. Lucky. I can go to the finals without showing my skills, Kankuro thought. The board started going through new names until it stopped. Will Uchiha Sasuke and Ren Azumi step forward? The rest of you, please go to the balconies, Hayate explained, and everyone left the arena except Sasuke and Azumi, who were staring at each other. Rears in the balcony. Go, Sasuke-kun, Sakura yelled, cheering for her Uchiha. Might as well see if I learn anything, Naruto said, activating his Sharingan and proceeded to analyze the matches. Uchiha Sasuke versus Ren Azumi. Fighters ready? Hayate asked, and both nodded. Hajime, Hayate said and jumped back. As soon Hayate started the match, Sasuke rushed towards the enemy, went for a low kick. As Sasuke expected, Azumi jumped up, and Sasuke took this opportunity to quickly continue his rotation and placing a kick his Azumi's stomach, making him fly to the ground. "Give up, you are no match for the Uchihas," Sasuke smugly said. Azumi slowly got up and cleaned his lip that got busted when he crashed into the ground. Azumi, angered by being bested in that little skirmish, quickly made hand seals and said, "Doton, earth spikes," slamming his hands on the ground. The ground in front of Azumi rose slightly and threw a few rock spikes at Sasuke with moderate speed. Sasuke quickly dodged all of them and yelled, "Kaiten, Hosenka no Jutsu, Phoenix Fire Technique," and sent multiple small fireballs towards the enemy. Azumi didn't have the skill to dodge them all and took one to his left leg and another to his shoulder, leaving him in the ground slightly burned and in pain. "Winner, Uchiha Sasuke." "Medics!" Hayate said, and Sasuke smugly smirked and made his way up to the balcony near his team, while medics went to heal Azumi. Didn't even need Sharingan, Sasuke thought. "Congratulations, Sasuke-kun," Sakura said with stars in her eyes as she watched her beloved Sasuke-kun making his way up the stairs. "At least the only fangirls that are here are Ino and Sakura," Naruto said, and got glares from both Ino and Sakura. "You know, Naruto-kun, I'm a fangirl," she said, and Naruto rose an eyebrow. "You are?" Kurenai asked. "Of course. I'm Naruto's fangirl." "Cough, cough!" Hinata started and cleared her voice. Squeal. "Oh, Naruto-kun is so cool. Will you go out with me?" she asked, with stars in her eyes and her best puppy dog face. "I can't say no to you, Haim," Naruto said, laughing, and kissed her. Kurenai just sweat dropped, and Kakashi chuckled at their antics. "Oh, I seriously need a boyfriend," Ino said with stars in her eyes, watching both of them. "Congratulations, Sasuke," Kakashi said. Sasuke grunted, making Sakura squeal in delight. They watched the board go another set of random names. "Haruno Sakura and Yamanaka Ino, please step into the arena to begin your match," Hayate said. AN, like canon, not even going to bother with this. "Due to both contestants being unconscious, I declare this match a tie," Hayate said. "Fangirls," Yugito started, "the disgrace of the kunoichi. If they spent more time training instead of drooling over the Uchiha over there, they wouldn't be slapping each other. It's just sad," Yugito said, and everyone nodded, agreeing with her. "At least you learned how to properly slap someone," Naruto said, and everyone's sweat dropped. "Sabaku no Gaara and Miwa Fuji, please step into the arena to begin your match," Hayate said, and Gaara used his traditional San Shunshin to the arena while his opponent jumped off. "Dirty, Sabaku no Gaara vs. Miwa Fuji Dowser. Ready?" Hayate asked. Fuji nodded, and in Gaara's case, sand left his gourd and started dancing around him. "Hajime," the proctor said, and jumped away. He could sense the rise in Gaara's bloodlust. "Sand shuriken," Gaara immediately said, and sent 10 shurikens he made with his sand towards the enemy. Fuji didn't expect such a sudden attack and made a very risky evasion maneuver by ducking to the ground. Fuji was rising when he noticed his feet were caught in something. He looked down and saw sand wrapped around his feet and quickly rising. Fuji tried to struggle to get free, but it seemed the more he struggled, the quicker it wrapped around him. Not even 5 seconds later, Fuji was completely covered in sand. "Sand coffin," Gaara said as he brought his open hand up. He suddenly closed his hand and said, "Sand funeral." Gaara closed his hand into a fist, and immediately the sand around Fuji compressed, completely crushing him. Fuji exploded in a shower of blood that covered almost all the arena. "Winner, Sabaku no Gaara," Hayate said, a little disgusted, as someone could kill this easily even more in a tournament. "He killed him," Sakura said as she had awakened up just in time to see the bloody end. "Fuji," Fu murmured to herself. Even though, in her village, only Shibuki liked her, she still wouldn't want to kill anyone or wish their death for that fact. That Tanuki always wanted destruction. "He still is insane," Kurama said to Naruto. "I guess I need to defeat him if we face off to prove my point." Naruto replied. "Uzumaki, you will be mine," Gaara almost yelled, pointing to our favorite blonde standing in the balcony. "I already told you I don't swing that way," Naruto said, and that phrase pissed Gaara off as she shot a wave of sand towards him. Naruto watched the sand came to him, and before anyone could react, the sand wrapped around him and immediately crushed him. "Naruto!" Kakashi yelled, and watched his little brother getting crushed to death. Gaara smiled as he finally got this precious blood offering to her mother. He quickly removed his sand to show an untouched Uzumaki Naruto. "Did you do something?" Naruto asked. The reactions were very different. Kakashi sighed in relief. Temari and Kankuro had their jaws on the floor as they saw the blonde unhurt. Yugito stared at the blonde suspiciously. To her, he was truly an enigma. Naruto made a quick sealless shunshin and landed right in front of Gaara. He proceeded to plant a very firm kick in his stomach and sent him flying to the wall. The sand wasn't quick enough to protect, and everyone could see small cracks appears in his skin. "He hit Gaara," Kankuro said, flagger-basted. He never saw his brother get hit for that fact, and yet this blonde kid just appears in front of him and gives him a kick, like it was nothing. "So you do have another defensive sand layer," Naruto said as he watched Gaara get up and the cracks disappear. "Enough!" The voice of the Hokage roared through the room instantly, putting everyone in attention. "Naruto, stand down, and you," the Hokage said, pointing to Baki the Sand Team Jonin. "Control your students or we will discipline them for you." "Apologies, Hokage-sama," Baki said, bowing to the Hokage. "That Gaara almost ruined everything." AN, Tenten versus Temari Cannon style. "Hyuga Neji and Akimichi Chuji, please step into the arena to begin your match," Hayate said, and Chuji got kinda scared, but nonetheless, they both made their way down. "Hajime," Hayate said. As soon as the proctor started the match, Neji activated his Byakugan and charge at Choji. Chuji panicked and started a sloppy Nikkodan Sensha, human bullet tank. Chuji started spinning and going with good speed against Neji. Neji watched him approach and quickly made a plan. Neji dodged to the side and placed his foot in front of Choji's path. This action made Choji bump into his foot and rise into the air, quickly losing his stance and ending the technique, and allowing Neji to give him a few good Juken strikes that left him unconscious on the ground. "Winner, Hyuga Neji," Hayate said. "It was his fate to lose to me," Neji smugly said. Neji walked up the stair and was congratulated by Tenten. He didn't know it, but she had a crush on him. But even with his superior eyesight, he was too blind to see it. "Hyuga Hinata versus Karui of Kumo, please step into the arena to begin your match," Hayate said. Hinata was leaving when Naruto pulled her back and gave her a small kiss on the cheek. "For luck," he said, and she smiled. "I know you don't like Kumo, but don't go overboard." Naruto whispered to her here, and she nodded. "Hyuga Hinata versus Karui of Kumo in Jurior. Ready?" Hayate asked, and seeing both nod, he said, "Hajime. My lucky day I get to face a Hyuga," Karui said, and got a confused look from Hinata. "What I mean is that the Hyugas specialize too much on taijutsu. If I keep my distance, you can't do anything. I wonder why our former Raikage wanted your bloodline so much," Karui said. Hinata frowned. "You know, I was the one that was kidnapped that day," she said, and Karui raised an eyebrow. "So that means that you are the heiress. My lucky day, I get to kick your ass and prove that the Hyugas are worthless," Karui said, smirking. Hinata chuckled sadly. "I'm no longer the heiress or a Hyuga for that matter," Hinata replied. "I don't understand," Karui said. "What I meant is that I no longer belong to the Hyuga clan. My father deemed too weak to be the heiress of the clan, so he branded me with the cage bird seal and disavowed me from the clan," Hinata explained, and a few on the stands gasped. The balcony. "That's cruel, to leave your daughter because she's weak," Ino said. She wondered what would happen if that happened to her. Kurenai seethed her teeth. When she found out, she wanted nothing more than strangle that Hiashi. To do that to his own family, no wonder he sent his own brother to his death. Hyuga Hinata versus Karui of Kumo, Risas. Karui didn't say anything. She never knew that the Hyugas would be so cold and uncaring. She heard about that they were arrogant and stoic, but this was a new low. "In the end, I should be grateful to you." Hinata started, and seeing Karui's confused look, she continued, "If you didn't kidnap me, Naruto-kun wouldn't have saved me, and maybe my father would never have expelled me. The last few years I've spent with Naruto-kun were my happiest time. My father never showed love or compassion of any sort, so I guess in the end, everything worked out for the best. Hinata concluded, showing a small yet true smile. Naruto-kun, you mean that blonde kid? Karui asked, pointing to our favorite blonde watching in the balcony. Why are you calling me kid? We are the same age, Naruto stated from the balcony. Yes, he was the one that found me when I was being kidnapped and managed to hold off and eventually defeat my kidnapper, Hinata said, and Karui's eye widened. But you were 6 years old. How can a 6-year-old child kill a jonin? Karui asked in shock. Everyone who heard took a while to assimilate and turned to face the blonde. Naruto sighed and answered, That is what happens when people underestimate me. Even though I was 6 years old, I already was genin level and I am very sneaky. He underestimated me and paid the price. Naruto explained, and the audience slowly nodded. Hinata smiled, remembering all the fun they had since she started living with him. Teaching him proper manner at the table, smacking him with a pillow so he could wake up, hiding his ramen, helping him with his pranks, training with him, watching the night skies and sunsets with him, living with him, sleeping next to him, and kissing him. You did mention that if you kept your distance from the Hyugas it would be fine, but with me that doesn't apply. I can assure you that I am a master at the Juken, but I didn't stick with only that as I will show you now, Hinata said, and dropped to the basic Juken stance. Ready? Hinata asked, and Karui nodded and picked up her sword from her back. Hinata channeled chakra to her wrist seal, and in a poof of smoke, there was in her hand a 20 inches long, singled-edged straight sword. The blade's hilt was lavender with white lines around the edges. So you know Kenjutsu, Karui said and dashed towards her. Karui jumped and did a vertical slash only to Hinata block with her own sword. Hinata jumped back and did a few hand seals and shouted, Sweeten, Tepudama, water bullet. Hinata sent a few compressed water bullets at high speed towards Karui. Karui skillfully evaded all of them and watched as they collided with the wall and removed a good chunk of it. Karui gulped. If that had hit her, it would have broken a few bones. Karui once again rushed forward and said, Cloud style, deception slice, and made a slash motion with her sword. Hinata easily blocked, but Karui turned to smoke, revealing a wooden log. Hinata activated her Byakugan just in time to block a lateral swing from Karui's sword and jumped back, gaining a bit of distance from Karui. Hinata knew that she didn't stand a chance with Kenjutsu. She preferred to daggers to swords. Daggers were easier to integrate with her taijutsu style and allowed for more swift motions without leaving so many openings. Hinata channeled wind chakra to her sword and quickly closed the distance. Karui brought her sword to block. Wrong move, as Hinata made a few quick slashes and destroyed Karui's sword, leaving it in pieces on the ground and Karui holding the hilt. What did you do? Karui asked, getting pissed off. That was her favorite sword. After a few skirmishes, I can tell that you are better at Kenjutsu than me, so I had to take care of that.
I channeled wind chakra to my sword and destroyed yours, Hinata explained, and once again ran through hand seals and said, Sweeten, Suishuha, exploding water wave.
Hinata expelled great amounts of water to the arena, completely flooding the grounds. The balcony, Dakinsur. Not possible. That's an A-rank water jutsu? How can she have enough chakra for that? Kakashi asked out loud and turned to Kurenai. What have you been teaching them? He asked. Kurenai simply smirked. I didn't teach them anything. All credits go for Naruto, Kurenai said, and Kakashi turned to Naruto. I told you I've been training since I was 5 years old. Hinata joined me when she was 7. The dead last and the shy girl was all a cover. Deception is a ninja's greatest tool, Naruto said, and everyone turned their attention to the arena.
Hyuga Hinata versus
Karui of Kumo. Raiten, Kangakiha, lightning-style emotion wave, Karui said, and channeled Raiten chakra through her hands and released it through the water to shock Hinata. Hinata saw this and jumped up to break her connection with the water. She went through hand seals and said, Futon, Daitapa, great breakthrough, and sent a gust of wave that disrupted the lightning attack and made Karui lose her balance. Hinata took this opportunity and quickly went through new hand seals and shouted her favorite water technique, Sweeten, Suiryudan no Jutsu, Water Dragon.
A water dragon rose from the water in the ground and quickly crashed into Karui, who didn't have time to dodge.
Karui was sent crashing into the wall and hit with the pressure of the water dragon. Karui was a little dazed from the impact and slowly got up, but Hinata quickly appeared next to her and said, Sweeten, Suiru no Jutsu, Water Prison. A chunk of water rose and quickly formed a sphere that trapped Karui inside and rendered her unable to move. Hayate was shocked. The amount of skill the girl displayed with water jutsu was Jonin level. He managed to break free from his stutter and said, Winner, Hyuga Hinata. Balcony. She won, Naruto chanted as he watched everyone on the balcony except his team stare in shock as Hinata made her way up the stairs. Even the Hokage was shocked at the skill she showed. Kakashi broke free from his own shock. He blinked, and blinked again. Kakashi approached Neji. Can you check her chakra levels? He asked, stuttering. Neji activated his Byakugan and froze to what he saw. That's impossible. She has elite Jonin chakra levels. How is that even possible? She is a genin and nothing but a failure, Neji said. If she is a failure, I wonder what a genius could do, Kakashi mused. Naruto quickly hugged Hinata and spinned her around. Congratulations, Jaime, Naruto said, making her giggle. You are nothing but a failure. To rely on ninjutsu only proves you weren't meant for the Byakugan, Neji coldly stated. Then if we face in the finals, I'll show you my Juken, Hinata said. Omoi from Kumo versus Fu from Taki, please step into the arena to begin your match, Hayate called out. Omoi from Kumo versus Fu from Taki. Ready? Hayate asked, and both nodded. Hajime! Hayate called out and immediately jumped back. Fu quickly went through a few hand seals and said, Mizu no Muchi, water whip. Fu took advantage of the existing water and quickly made 4 water whips that grabbed Omoi's arms and legs and pinned him in the spot. Fu approached him from behind and placed a kunai at his neck. Yield, Fu said. Omoi tried to struggle to find a way to free himself from this binds, but they wouldn't budge. I surrender, Omoi said. Winner, Fu of Taki, Hayate said. A balcony. That was anticlimactic, Asuma said, as he watched Omoi return to the balcony with his head low. To be caught off guard and defeated with a single jutsu, it was a shame. Man, those things are really tight, they wouldn't budge, Omoi said while sucking on his lollipop and shaking his head in disappointment. What affinity do you have? Naruto asked. Like most people in Kumo, I have lightning. Why? Omoi asked. You could have channeled lightning chakra trough the whips, and since they are water, they would most likely have weakened enough for you to perform a substitution, Naruto explained, and Omoi face-palmed. How come I didn't think of that? Omoi asked, and Naruto shrugged his shoulders. Ni Yugito vs. Aburame Shino, please come to the arena to begin the match, Hayate called out. Good luck, Shino, Naruto said, and Hinata nodded. Thank you, but is unlikely I will win, Shino stoically said, heading down to the arena. Well, he's excited, Asuma said. There's Aburame Shino vs. Ni Yugito. Ready? Hayate asked, and both nodded. Hajime, Hayate said and jumped back. Immediately as Hayate said, start, Yugito jumped into action and quickly closed the distance between her and Shino. Yugito jumped in the air and performed a drop kick. Shino brought both his arms up in an X formation and blocked the kick. Shino quickly grabbed her leg and spinning threw her at the wall. Yugito twisted mid-air and landed gracefully in the wall like a cat would. There's balcony, dar. Looks like Shino's taijutsu skill has increased, Kakashi said, surprised. Since Naruto and Hinata were more advanced, it gave me more time to focus on Shino. Also, his main weakness, as most long-range users, is taijutsu, so we tried to get him a defensive-type taijutsu style, Kurenai explained, and Kakashi nodded. Go Shino! Kick her ass! Naruto yelled. Kurenai just shook her head. Naruto could defeat her in a spar, and yet he still had a childish behavior. Aburame Shino versus Ni Yugito. Yugito dropped from the wall and into the ground and crouched in all four like a cat getting ready to pounce on the victim. Shino eyed her very carefully and started releasing his bugs. Yugito saw the bugs heading towards her and shouted, "Keiton, Hosenka, no Jutsu, Phoenix Fire Technique." Multiple fireballs crashed into Shino's bugs and engulfed them in flames. Yugito smirked, but quickly dropped her smile when she noticed that the bugs were still coming as if nothing happened to them. "How did you do that?" Yugito asked. "My main weakness is fire, since it can easily destroy my bugs, so I coated them with water chakra to protect them," Shino stoically explained. "I guess I have to turn up the heat," Yugito said, smirking. "Let's go, Nibi," Yugito said to her partner. "Right, kitten," Nibi replied. "Katon, Aogukakyu, no Jutsu, blue fireball technique," Yugito yelled and unleashed a big blue fireball towards Shino. This fireball engulfed the bugs and immediately turned them to dust. The fireball continued its path towards Shino. "Doton, Doryuheki, earth wall," Shino said, and a small earth wall rose in front of him to protect him. The fireball collided to the earth wall and slowly but surely began to apply pressure. The wall didn't stand a chance with a Biju-powered fireball and began to crack until he collapsed. Shino saw the wall starting to crack and immediately jumped away. Yugito expected such, so she was there to greet with a fierce punch to his face. Yugito punched him, but he transformed into bugs. "Bug clone," Yugito thought, as the clone she punched began to surround her. Yugito channeled Nibi's chakra, and one by one each of the bugs began to fall on the ground, killed by the Biju's extremely poisonous chakra. "I surrender. She destroyed one of my hives, and I'm low on chakra. It would be illogical to proceed," Shino breathing heavily. "Winner by forfeit ni Yugito," Hayate said. Tapu balcony. "You did good, Shino," Kurenai said, and he nodded. "Yeah, it would be very hard to win against someone like her," Naruto said. "What's so special about her?" Sasuke asked, but it felt more like a demand.